Hi everyone. Hi. I hope you're well, and even as you come in live, I hope mnaweza nisikia. If uko hapo na unaweza nisikia, you can just type in and say that you can. Yeah, leo kumeshinda mvua sana, by the way. Sorry. Kumeshinda mvua. I don't know how you're doing. I don't know if you're doing well. Myself niko na kahoma kidogo, but it's getting on well. My name is Grace Kasiva. We are yet in another live session. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining, guys. Thank you for the ones who will find us as we continue. And even as we start, I think I'm trying to look for a good angle. Yeah, I think that's nice. So yeah, this is Nzumari Africa. Always a pleasure to have you here as we do our live sessions. These sessions zinakuanga poa za create a conducive environment for people to come and express themselves, for people to come and learn more on mental health and other issues, and for us to create a community, especially of young people. We are in Nzumari Africa. We deal with we interact more with the young people. Yes, we are youth led and we are youth based. Our office or our center is at Huruma, St. Daniel Komboni. And I can see kuna mtu amejoin, so if you're there and umejoin, welcome so much to this live session. My name is Grace. Maybe hapo ukijoin unaweza sema who is watching so that I can see you. Feel free to comment. Yeah, feel free to comment as you come in. So last time we were talking about feeling safe. Yeah, we're talking about gender-based violence and mental health, and we were majorly on feeling safe. Yeah, and so today we are talking about the power in expression, in self-expression. You as a person, because in Nzumari we mostly do expressive arts therapy, and we usually have activities or events where youth come in and they express themselves in games, in music, in dance, in drama, in journaling, yes, in face painting, in art. So yeah, so today we're talking about the power of expression. As you join in, feel free to share the video for other people to join in so that the audience can grow. And so back to the topic of today, the power in expression. So we're talking mostly about self-expression, and even as tunaendelea, I want to pose a question. Do you stop to think how you share yourself with others? You as a person, how do you share yourself with others? Do you stop to think how you share yourself with others? Like, is it through art? Is it through dance? Is it through poem writing? Is it through music? Is it through drama, puppetry, etc, etc? How do you share yourself with the world? How do people get to know you, apart from putting it into words, apart from describing you as describing yourself into words? How else do you express yourself? How do you share yourself with other people? What is your creative side? It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to exist. So how do you share yourself with other people? That is what we are talking about, expression. It's not mainly into words only, but into other different things. And so even as we continue, I would like you to think about that. And To express ourselves, we are going to begin probably talking about the emotions, because emotions and thoughts, because tunaongea kuhusu mental health. Naona kuna watu wanajoin. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome. Niko na homa, so sijui kama mnaweza nisikia. I don't know if my voice is loud enough for you guys to hear. I have a bit of a cold, and if you can hear me, please and just comment on the section, and feel free to pause, to post, to share the video. So let me type in the question that I have asked. How do you share yourself with others? Or how do you express yourself? Yeah, that's the question. Hiyo ni swali ya kwanza nimeuliza hapo kwa comment section. To anyone who is watching, welcome. Always a pleasure to have you. So kama uko hapo, please feel free to like the video, to share it, and to comment, so that we can have an interactive session. Yes, so how do you share yourself with other people? How do people get to know who you are? Not only in words. So we are looking at how we express ourselves, maybe through music, through art, through singing, through dancing, journaling, writing poems, writing a book, and other examples that you may know of, even games and sports. So how do you share yourself with other people? How do we know you more than how you can describe yourself with words? So as we continue, as I was saying, sometimes even as we look about expressing ourselves, we can go deep. Tunaweza enda deep kidogo into the emotional part of it, as you know, the emotional part of it. Yes, because the opposite of expression is repression. And so if you're not expressing yourself, if you're not expressing your emotions, you're repressing them. Unaziweka mahali kwa box. And if I can describe what repression is, it is that act or behavior of intentionally or automatically having control over your emotions. It's usually intentional. Like uko intentional, you're going to have control over your emotions. You're intentional, or sometimes it's automatic that you want to have control of your emotions and your thoughts. So when you feel like you're getting angry, you quickly suppress. If you feel like you're scared, you're afraid of something, maybe something you can see something is scaring you and giving you some anxiety, and so you quickly suppress the emotion. And so the question is, the discussion now, we are into repression. And so I've said it is the intentional, automatic control over our emotions. And hata ukiangalia, if you look at the studies that have been done, the research that has been done, you'll find that kuna connection. There's a connection between our emotions and our well-being physically. You'll find it's in the influence. The way we handle our emotions influences our physical and mental health most of the time. Remember, we were talking about expression, but now we've gone deeper into the mental health part of it, and we are looking at emotions and thoughts. And so, as I was saying, there's a connection, there's a relationship between our physical state, our mental health, and our emotions and how we express them. And you'll find there was a research that was done, and utapata there were out of 567 people who went into hospital, their complaints, 84% of that figure, their There are conditions. Kwa sababu hizi 567 they were complaining of these common, conditions like dizziness, chest pains, and you'll find that 84% of those mainly hazikuwa na any medical diagnosis. In short, ingefanywa test haipatikani ni nini shida. Like umeienda have you ever gone to hospital ukafanywa test, kila kitu inapatwa iko normal, but wewe unasikia uchungu, like you are having a condition but watu hawajui inatoka wapi, hakuna medical diagnosis of it. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. And okay, all right, sawa, let me try and move away from it. I don't know if sijui kama sahi unasikia your popping sound. Raymond, thank you for joining. Baba Louise and Nesta Mwega. Yeah, so as I was saying, 84%, okay, yeah, ukienda unafanywa tests and hakuna kitu inapatikana. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. So sawa. So, and that is the aspect of us repressing our emotions or expressing them, because even in the UK, utapata there was a study that was done, and 20% of the surgeries that were done or were to be done hazikuwa na any medical diagnosis. So unapata huyu mtu yes anaenda surgery, lakini akitafutwa shida yake ni gani haipatikani. Inamaanisha there is something that is in, or maybe it's an aspect of the soul of that person. Like if the physical is okay na amefanywa every test na hapatikani na anything, but ameenda surgery, so you wonder, okay, hii uchungu inatoka wapi na anasikia uchungu. So we're talking about expressing our emotions or expressing ourselves. Na tumeingia kwanza deep into the mental health aspect of it, because it is important for us to realize that in as much as how sometimes we lack words to express what we are feeling or who we are as a person, it is important to not keep it inside. And that is why there are so many ways of us letting the world know who we are. As I asked the question earlier, how do you share yourself with other people? How do you express yourself? There's power in expressing ourselves. Like you can crazily dance somewhere, like if you find a safe space, ukipata safe space iko safe kabisa, and and you're able to really express yourself, you're able to really get to know other people and see them in their authentic self. Na hata wewe mwenyewe unaweza like dance anyhowly, like you're crazy and you're dancing and you don't care, like it's not even perfect, you don't even know how to do it. This is an aspect of expressive arts therapy that is really powerful, even in the field of mental health. It involves not only art therapy but also music, dance, drama, etc. Like when you're using that therapy, you're able to really look at or analyze how you are expressing yourself, even the process of it. Assuming uko umeingia, like okay, it's music, it's dance, and sasa you're doing it, like at first maybe haukuwa okay with it, maybe ulikuwa unapima tu hewa, and then at some time unaanza sasa kubanjuka kabisa vizuri. So you realize in that process there's a way you can be able to even understand yourself better, because when you're talking about expressive arts, it's more of understanding who we are and why we do the things that we do, than really looking at the result of the art, the drama and the music and the singing and the journaling and the poem writing. It's mostly iko kwa hiyo tu process, iko mostly kwa hiyo process. And so yeah, it's really important for us to look for a nice space where you can be able to really express yourself and be able to release whatever you're feeling. Like at Nzumari, and you're always welcome to come and join us. You'll find that we have a activities that ensure that young people are able to, play chess, and there's that community, that connectedness, as I said earlier. And so, even as we get into now expression, as we were talking about earlier about repression, utapata the reason as to why it's important for every human being to have a platform or an avenue of expressing themselves. It's because repress, there are a number of things that happen. Nata utakuta people with a history of substance abuse, it's because maybe somewhere along the way they were not able, we're not saying it's 100%, but in some cases probably hawakuweza kujiexpress vizuri or just bring out their authentic selves, maybe in the family setup, maybe even at school, etc. And utapata pia people struggling with poor nutrition, people struggling with eating disorders, disordered eating. These are people who probably did not really express or did not get an avenue of being their authentic selves. I can see, yes, and more ameingia amejoin. Thank you, Joiner, for joining. I can express myself through taking photos, fashion, like how I dress. Yes. Oh yeah, nilikuwa nimesahau hiyo. Yes, fashion and taking photos is a way of expressing yourself. So it's not a matter of, okay, sometimes I hear that people who take too many selfies, they have low self-esteem issues. Okay, who says it's true or not? I'm just saying, if that is how you want to share yourself with the world, if that is how you want to, you know, be yourself, that is how you want people to know who you are, then go ahead, you take your selfies, as long as it's not doing any harm to anybody, as long as it's not it's okay, and you're also not doing harm to yourself, just take the selfies, dress and express yourself with your fashion and your photos. Baba Louise na Nesta Mwega anasema, talking about music, I find that my preference for genre says a lot about my state of mind. Yeah, when I find myself wanting to listen to metal rock, heavy metal rock tells me I need a break. That is true, that is very true. I think we can talk about music, by the way. Tunaweza ingia, for those who are watching us live, thank you so much for joining us. There are times where, yes, kuna time like your preference in music changes. At times you're maybe probably into kwanza kama you have gone through a heartbreak, or you want to remember your past relationships, you just listen to Adele and her music, it will take you back, And Raymond anasema music will tell him what he's going through or what he needs to do when it comes to mental health, and that is true. Anasema akijipata tu anaanza kusikiza metal rock, inamwonyesha inamwonyesha that ana need to take a break. True story, by the way. Myself, mimi, when I find myself listening to zinaitangwa aje, afropop, hizi za kina zinaitwaje, afropop, yeah, I think ni kama Sauti Sol or etc. If I usually know I'm in a good mood, but when I begin listening to kina Adele etc, I know there's something wrong, or there's something I'm trying to process that is sad, and the song will probably help me process it. And so, as you can see, people, there is power in expression. There is power in getting to know what avenue that you're going to use to express yourself. Baba Louise na Nesta Mwega anasema yeye ana argue a lot. That is how he gets to share himself with other people. Well, yeah, ni ukweli. By then ni ukweli, because if you lack there are people who have words to give you. There are people who have, kuna watu wako na words za kukupatia, kuna watu hawana words za kukupatia. So you argue, as long as, of course it's constructive sometimes. Yeah, or all the time, yeah, si ati inakuwa meaningless talk. And so Yeah, Adele's music it's therapy. It is therapy, honestly. Apo, it is therapy kabisa. So yeah, as I was saying, you know, the the other kuna consequence za kurepress ama kuignore whatever your mind is telling you to express, you know, because expression is part of who we are. We cannot just say ati utakaa tu hivi like a zombie. No. So you'll find if you're not by the if you ever find yourself sometimes uko na an abnormal sleeping pattern, this like in ulikuwa unalala vizuri and then for some minute ukaacha kulala vizuri, it means there's something that you're probably suppressing or repressing and una ignore, and your mind is overworking and it's overthinking, and you need to let it out. Sometimes insomnia will tell you that. Even self-harm behaviors unapata in times when, and this is a bit, you know, when we're talking about self-harm behaviors, it can be a bit sensitive to talk about this, especially to people who have survived it or have relatives who have survived it. But sometimes it is good to realize that shying away from some topics can do more harm than good. And so now, as we're talking about self-harm behaviors, utapata yes, the moment you're not able to really express what you're going through, and repress hizo emotions na thoughts for a long time, and they've been hard and you've had trauma, and it is real trauma, and most of the time you relive it almost on a daily basis. And so inafika mahali there's no way of how to release this, and so there's that self-harm, because you'll find people saying I needed a way to ensure that I don't feel the emotional pain. And so people sometimes result to experiencing physical pain, and then hence the self-harm behavior. And so it's important ukiona like kama wewe hauna signal ya kukuonyesha there's something wrong with me, because there are people who have signals. Maybe akikula sana, there's something wrong. Amelala sana, there's something wrong. Kuna watu wanaweza jua, for Raymond ametuambia ya akisikiza heavy metal rock, there's something wrong, he needs to take a break. So wewe labda hauko conscious of your mental health or what you need to do to feel okay. So in terms of that, you'll find yourself resulting to behaviors like self-harm, yani kujiumiza mwenyewe, maybe cutting your wrist, etc. So these are the negative consequences of you know, repressing our emotions and our thoughts. Remember, we're talking about the power in expression, because there is power in expressing who we are. You can try as much as possible to what is it? Yeah, to be in your shell. You can try as much as possible for the longest time to be in your shell, but inafika mahali and your mind or your soul or your psychology inakata, and you become yourself finally. For some it takes too long, for some it comes very fast, and that is where sometimes you will find people, you know, sometimes you see people do change. Yeah, people change, and even their careers, they do change, and it's because of the change of life. Na huyo mtu maybe amelearn sasa kuexpress na kujiexpress na kujitoa yeye mwenyewe, kujiona yeye ni nani, kujijua, kujikubali penye yako. Yeah, no judgment, no nothing. It is powerful. Even as people are expressing themselves, please do not judge them. You know, just take them as they are. Yes, they're not as similar as you, but don't judge them. Wachukue venye wako. Give them a safe space. And if you know you're not able to do that, kindly just refer them to someone who can. You don't have to be a hero to everybody, or you don't have to applaud everybody. But if you're finding yourself, you have a family or a friend who anataka kujiexpress, and wewe haukubaliani na expression yake, sometimes haukubaliani na methods zake, creativity yake, ama pia tu kenye ana feel, emotions zake, instead of judging or putting them off or stigmatizing them, just refer them to somebody who is able to really listen to them. Because at the end of the day, it's important for everyone to have a safe space where they can be themselves completely and be vulnerable, so that they can be able to really reach their full potential even as they begin to express themselves. And you'll find that even as we're expressing ourselves, in that time when you are doing that art, in that time when you're singing, in that time when you're dancing, in that time when you're acting, doing puppetry, etc., utapata that there are emotional wounds that just heal on their own. And it's true, by the way, if you can really realize it, utapata kuna wounds zenyewe zina heal on their own. By the way, if you're there and you have a question that you want to ask, please ask, or a comment. Feel free to ask or a comment on anything. I will be happy to connect with you. So yeah, your wounds do heal, yeah, as you're singing, as you're drawing. And remember, nilisema, you don't have to be perfect in that art that you're doing, that expression. You just have to do it. Si lazima ukuwe perfect. And your mind clears up, by the way. Your mind really clears up, and your relationships improve as you connect with other people. Yeah. There's somewhere nilisoma ilikuwa inasema that if it is a relationship that hurt you, then it is a relationship that will build you back up. And most of the time you'll find this power in us healing our relationships. There's a lot of power in that. And yeah, so and that's why I'm saying these methods of expressing ourselves, they really help us to connect with other people. They help us to really see, to really connect. Like for me, if I can give an example, I am a follower of this poet called Mufasa, and I know yeye who post poem every Tuesday kwa FB page yake, and I think nananga tu kwa FB kuangalia. And this guy, even as he's writing that poem, even as he is expressing himself through the poems that but he does a very good job. Even as he's doing that, I usually feel like I know him kidogo, maybe hata kani 5%, kuna hiyo connection, because there are poems that ataandika that I really connect with. Kuna poems maybe I'm not going through that, or maybe I've never gone through that or experienced that, so at that point I'm not able to connect with him. But you'll find uyu jamaa in these poems, I'm able to really understand myself better. And there are times, even when you find umeipata that aha moment, even when you're listening to a song, because music can be very powerful. Kuna kwanga na hiyo aha moment unapata, and when you're listening to a song or a poem or reading a book and you realize, this is my problem. This, I need to look at this. I need to really look at this and get to know what I am feeling about this. So that is how if I'm trying to explain hapo kwa your emotions on your emotional wounds heal, they do heal sometimes without you knowing. That's what utapata hata kuna watu, yes, they've gone through a lot, but they'll probably never go to therapy. I'm not saying you don't go for therapy, please go for therapy. But utapata someone will go through a lot and they have not gone for therapy, but you find one way or another they were able to really deal with what they were going through. You'll find that huyo mtu alikuwa na channel ya kuji express, and it was not therapy, maybe it was music, it was poem, it was ama alisoma tu poem fulani na ika open up mind yake na akaweza kuona vitu clearly, because that is the power of expressing, that is the power of expressive arts, when you engage with them or when you experience them. Yeah, the aspects are true. It's either you're engaging with them or experiencing them. So yes, because what we say, there's a quote that I've just come across and I have loved it. It says, what we say is important for in most cases, the mouth, okay, let me read again. What we say is important, for in most cases the mouth speaks what the heart is full of. Yes, most of the time our mouth will speak for our hearts. and even in the music that you listen to. If you want to know who you are, listen to the music that get to know, analyze, realize the kind of music you're listening to, the kind of books you read, the kind of movies you watch. What people say that you are the books you read, you are the music that you listen to, you are the art you love, you are how you dress. How you dress speaks so much of you. So you'll find out what we say is important in most cases because of what our hearts are full of. And yeah, so I don't know from there. I think we're halfway through. If you're there, you have a question, you're listening in, you have a question or a comment, please feel free to comment on it. Be happy to share with you more as we go to the other process of ending our live session. Yeah. So the benefits of expressing ourselves, the benefits of self-expression. Sorry. You'll find benefit number one, it helps the mind to focus. It really does help the mind to focus, because at that time, even as you're expressing yourself, as you're journaling, and by the even before we go there, journaling, I know in most cases, people are usually advised to do journaling, and it's powerful. It's powerful to write down whatever you're feeling. But there are people, kuandika is not their strong point. And so utapata, for them, maybe they prefer taking videos, or mostly videos, or just a recording of themselves and what they're feeling for that day, maybe even an audio. So kujournal si lazima sana. These coping strategies that we mostly recommend in counseling, or for people to really get back to themselves. Kujournal, I know probably most of the time we told about journaling. It's okay to journal. I do journal also, but it's not a must really. If it does not work for you, or if you don't like it, you don't have to really do it. Maybe you can just try and see what it does for you. If it's not your thing, you can find something else for you to do. And so, as we were talking about, before we go to the benefit story, as we were talking about the influence between our emotional status and our physical health or mental health, it's not that feelings, see at feelings na emotions. You can't hear? Can you hear now, Jolie? It's not that feelings and emotions are responsible for the health disorders that we have. It's in the denial of the emotions. That is how they influence. See at emotions are responsible, because as we are denying, it creates more tension in our body na inaongeza stress levels. So if I can make it clear, it's not in the emotions. See, emotions zina cause our health disorders. It's in the denying of them. And individuals who remain, individuals who are able to really express themselves and remain positive in the issues of life, they really have a sense of hope, and they are likely to live longer. Yes, it is true. Somehow from afar. Okay. Nimeweka mouthpiece karibu na mdomo. I hope right now you can really hear. All right. So, okay. Sawa, to continue. Sasa tunaingia kwa benefits of expressing ourselves and our emotions. It will help us to reduce depression. If you're there, I think I can pose that question. nimepose question, but before that naona kuna comment hapo inasema huku kwa hizi streets hakuna kitu inatesa maboys kama kutoweza kuexpress feelings kwa crush. True story. By the way, hata before tuende kwa benefits. It is true, by the way. There are very many people who are not able to shoot their shot. They're not able to really shoot their shots. Hakuna kitu inatesa maboys. Ni ukweli, people, there's a struggle in expressing how you're feeling towards a crush. And it can be intimidating, by the way. But kuna study nilisoma mahali, even before I answer that, kuna study nilisoma mahali ilikuwa inasema that the moment, if you know you're afraid of something, if you know you are afraid of something, and you acknowledge that and you actually say, I am afraid of something. Hii experiment ilifanywa na watu wanaogopa spiders. And unapata wanakuwa exposed to the spider. And of course the initial reaction will be, wanaogopa hii spider. Hawajaongea, wameiona tu and wameiogopa. But as now they were told to now say something neutral about the situation or something else, like wasi like, how can I say it, isikuwe personal with the spider, like waiweke in a very vague way, utapata they were no longer afraid of the spider. And now to answer that, hapa kwenye Baba Louise amesema that huku kwa streets kuna kitu inatesa maboys kama kutoweza kuexpress feelings kwa crush. It is true. But sasa maybe chances are this person or this guy is not hata yeye mwenyewe hajaisema na mdomo yake, I think I like this girl. Yeye ana feel tu, yeye anafikiria tu hiyo story. I think akianza kuiongea ndo itamtoka. Hiyo ako kuoga itamtoka, kauoga inaweza mtoka. Like, yes, you're able to really remove yourself from that emotion now. It's not longer part of you because you've expressed it. Like, it has no power, like haina power mingi over you. Maybe Raymond ukipatana now, and for those guys who are listening and you have a crush and you are afraid of talking to them, so you first just acknowledge that and just say, I like this girl. Then from there, talk to someone about it and tell Mombi, I think I like Grace. And then now from there, mi ona watu hata wakitunga mawimbo. People even write poems. If you're not able to really express it to her like face to face, so mwandikie poem ama kawimbo. Maybe ataweza kupata message yako na itakuwa that scary, because I mean in that poem, in that song, you're your true element and you're most relaxed. So maybe wanaweza jaribu hivyo. Even for the girls, you have a crush on somebody, just find a creative way to shoot your shot and acknowledge it, usinyamazie tu. So I posed the question, what are the benefits of self-expression? Eric Hasenya, thank you for joining. Anasema one major benefit is that you're able to avoid very many things that you don't like and also get to negotiate for things you want. True story. The moment you're able to express yourself, you're able to really avoid very many things that you don't like. Yeah, like if you don't, it is true. Like it's a way of not wasting time. Like you reduce the time, the amount of time you should be wasting on earth, because you're able to realize this is what I want, this is what I don't want, and you can actually now begin to negotiate, because now hata unaweza kwanza kuwa creative of how to negotiate with it. Thank you Eric for that comment. Baba Louise anasema I tried dealing with my fear of hate, and let me tell you, when nilisema wacha tu hiyo fear ibaki. Imagine there is still a way you can be able to deal with that. Okay, mi niko na wewe pia hapo Raymond, acha tu nisijifanye. Even me, I have a fear of large mass water bodies. Mimi, in short, swimming pool, oceans, rivers, lakes, ama tu maji naona ni mingi na sioni imefika wapi, kwa sababu number one hata sijui kuswim. I don't know how to swim, and maybe naweza yeka goal kama next year nimekuwa tu nikiprolong hiyo goal over the years tu, hii mwaka lazima nijue kuswim. Does not happen next year, does not happen, so I'm hoping in 2022 nitajua kuswim. So hata mimi nimetry kudeal with my fear of large water bodies, because I don't even know how to swim, plus water is very powerful, so naonanga tu itanibeba. So hata wewe kwa hiyo fear of heights, but maybe we should not give up. Mimi naona maybe we should not give up, maybe tunaweza try kuona vile tunaweza, I don't know, overcome this fear. Mimi naona tusi give up bado. Maybe for you, you can just try. Sijui kama umejaribu. There's something that we call systematic desensitization. Mimi nimejaribu kidogo, and there's a time I found myself in Mombasa na niliweza kuingia kwa ocean na hata nikaswim, but when the waves were too heavy nikaenda sasa huko juu kidogo nikatoka, so sikaangi sana. So kuna hiyo ya kujiexpose to pole, maybe through imagery ama live physically. So unaweza try to kujidesensitize systematically pole and see how you can overcome that fear of heights, because it is possible. But it's possible for us to not live with the fears that we have. It is possible for us to really overcome. Ama isikuwe na ile tu, isikuwe too heavy like it was before. It is possible. I have seen people overcome, so even us we can. So Raymond, you can overcome your fear of heights, and I can overcome my fear of maji mingi. Joina and more anasema ko wapi before niende kwa hiyo ya and more. For me it improves my mood, stress and sense of well-being. Yes, it is true. Expressing ourselves, definitely. That music and the dressing well and the fashion and the photos, they really improve our mood. Yeah, and stress inaisha, and your sense of well-being iko. Baba Louise anasema boundary setting inasaidia kuset boundaries and make it clear to others where the boundaries are. Yes, when you are able to really express yourself and to learn that art. There's a way you can express yourself that can make other people to feel comfortable with you. Yeah, assuming in a setting, in a group setting, and everybody wants to do something, but wewe hauko comfortable doing it, there's a way you can bring it up and say, mimi sina uwezo wa kufanya kenye mnataka kufanya, but there's a way you can, set your boundaries in a healthy way to ensure that you don't break the relationships that you have, you don't break the connections that you have, you still remain relaxed and you still feel safe, and all that time you're boundary setting and you're also expressing yourself. So it is true, boundary setting inasaidia kuset inasaidia ku make it clear to other people that you, this is what you want, this is who you are, this is the music I listen to, this is the movies, these are the movies that I watch, these are what etc, and people are able to respect you. Baba Louise anasema shida ni magoti huwa zinaisha Grace, najipata nimekaa chini. Okay, nakuelewa Remo, hata mimi nikiona maji na kunywanga maji sana, nikiingia kwa swimming pool, hata mimi huogopa tu, because mimi naonanga tu kifo. It is true, but as I said, it is possible for us to really overcome our fears pole. Mostly, at least, if you can range yourself, like after a period of some time, haina ile intensity kama your time ingine. And honestly, if you really want to overcome the fear, you actually will. Mimi naona there is power even in being intentional, even as we are expressing ourselves. Because remember, repression of emotions, ama kujirepress, is an intentional automatic behavior of controlling something. So if repression is intentional, basi pia expression should be intentional, Yeah, and it should come naturally, like automatic and intentional also. So I feel like if we're really intentional about expressing ourselves, we will be able to really get to that point where we want to see ourselves. We can even surprise our conscience, and we are like, wow, kumbe I could do this. Anyway, our self-esteem, by the way, increases. It really does increase when we express ourselves, because you'll find in as much as how hauna your talent kama ule mtu, in as much as how hauna your expertise, but if you're able to really do something, or just sing one day, or dance, or write a poem, and people like it, hata kama ni mmoja, or people get to understand you, or you finally feel heard, your sense of self-worth ina increase kabisa, na unaweza kufeel like yeah, I think I'm worthy. I think confidence, unakuwa na confidence boost, na hakuna kitu nzuri kama kukuwa na confidence boost. And another important aspect of expressing ourselves and our emotions, or just ourselves, our thoughts, emotions, who we are, is we are able to really overcome trauma. But in this, as I said, and I want to really insist on it, when we talk about overcoming trauma, the major aspect of trauma or overcoming trauma is really understanding it, understanding where it has come from, understanding what it means to us now, and understanding what it means to us in the future. That is the most important thing about overcoming trauma. It is also in the healing of it, because it is possible to heal from trauma. It is possible when now umeanza kujiexpress sasa, and you're able to be in your true element, even when you're living in trauma or you've survived something. The most important thing to remember is you're able to understand, because the moment unaelewa mahali umetoka, the moment unaelewa what it means to you now, and the moment unaelewa what it can do to your future, you're able to actually have a clear mind of knowing what to do about it. And even as you come for therapy and you begin the process of unraveling or exploring all these things, kichwa yako inaanza kukua clear kabisa. And that is what utapata hata kwa session, in as much as au nilisema si lazima mtu afanye journaling, by then you kweli, it's not a must, but utapata a therapist ama kwa session unaweza anza kuulizwa, what do you do to cope, like what kind of music, ama tunaweza anza kuangalia hiyo music, like kama ni a particular genre, what's the reason behind wanting to listen to this genre mostly. There's power in exploration, because ukianza to explore that, you're able to really understand where you're coming from, and you're able to even see now, oh okay, this is why, oh okay, this is why. So I think nime sum up everything. Mine is just to let you know that expressing ourselves or expressive arts, because nilisema si lazima ikuwe maneno peke, in whatever avenue that you do or you use, it is powerful. It is powerful because you're able to really enjoy life. You're able to get to know yourself deeply. You're able to really connect with other people deeply. You're able to release yourself and your emotions and your thoughts. Leo nakuwa dramatic sana. You're able to release yourself and your emotions and your thoughts. You're able to really look, and then there's that sense of just having peace, because your mind is really clear. Your mind is really, structured completely. And yeah, so if you're there, I think that's the end of the live today. Tuko na 10 minutes zimebaki. Kama uko hapo na to watch, thank you so much for those who have joined us, na wenye wamecomment, wale wameparticipate, wale wataparticipate, wale watawatch baadaye. Shout out to, I think, let me just mention, I always mention the people who participated. There is Baba Louise, Nanesta Moga, thank you so much. There is Anmo, thank you so much. There is Eric Hasenya, thank you. There is Jolie, thank you. Na wale wote wame like video. Yes, leo nywele yangu ilikuwa kinki kidogo. I'm having one of those bad hair days. But yes, so if you're there, I think tumefika kwa session ya questions, comments. Kama uko nazo, kindly just post them. I will post the post survey, pre-survey and post survey form for you to fill. Kindly fill it for me. Yes. And look out for our social media platforms, by the way. This week we are going to be having interactive sessions with you guys. So look out for them. We will be happy to share with you or to interact with you. So yeah, kuna swali, comment. I will smile to wait and see if there is any comment or question from the audience. I don't think kunazo. So maybe I can end the live there. Yeah. Please keep warm. Thank you, Baba Louise, for that comment. Ya mwisho tukifunga. Watu wakunywe maji, watu wakule matunda. Kama wewe ni mgonjwa na uko na homa, enda hospitali kaangaliwe. Mask up, sanitize, keep safe. Always ensure, even as much as how we focus on our mental health, please look at all aspects of yourself. There's your physical, there's your spiritual, there's your emotional, and there is your mental wellness. Yeah. So there have been no questions or comments. Asante kwa wale nimeona mmeanza kujoin. You can watch the live later. Feel free to share it. Yes, I think that's a wrap. Thank you.